Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
So it's another month. So I hope you're wearing your mask correctly. This is Mercy TV, live.
Hello and welcome to the Mercy TV Socially Distanced Show. I'm Perry Normal, and along with Sunny and PK, producer PK, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV Socially Distanced.
Hello.
So we're going to take our masks down so you can hear us better.
And we're safely enough, we're making an effort not to
Be careful, bud, my friend.
cough in each other's faces and all that fun stuff. An important part of socially
Check for seeds.
distance cannabis consuming is everybody using their own delivery devices. So if you must consume in a group, make sure everybody has their own joint or their own pipe, and plenty of wipes, disinfectants, sprays that you can use both on hands and stuff. Hey, PK. Hey. And so forth. Use it on your devices too.
And the flame does sterilize
Also, that's
the pipe if you have to share.
disinfectants, of
Or
course.
you have a set, break it apart.
And just generally common sense, I would say. You know,
Back to that common sense.
don't cough in each other's
No.
faces. Don't
And, back to
redirect.
when you go to the bathroom and using soap and washing your hands and cleaning and all the
Hygiene
things,
101. Yeah,
we already know, we already did, and we've always been doing and keep doing.
Staying healthy.
Now you can do it as though your life depended on it, or
Right.
perhaps more importantly, the life of someone you care about. Because it's about others. These precautions.
Well,
Really,
and you
it's-
want to keep doing it and always do it and keep doing it and teach it and show everybody that you've been doing it and show others and, teach it.
Teach it. Yeah, exactly.
So the main thing is being registered and voting.
Oh,
and
yeah.
voting the
So,
correct people in.
Because of the coronavirus, because of the social issues that it has exposed, because of among those things is cannabis prohibition. It's a government control mechanism, and now it's become an industry unto itself. Which the taxpayers are paying for.
Excuse me, the patients are paying.
Yeah,
for
right.
it, my friend.
So, for all these cases, for all these scenarios, the answer is to register to vote and to make sure everyone you know does so also. So Sonny has been working everybody he knows,
Well, yes.
telling them, making sure they're registered to vote, but more so, everybody they know.
Right.
And
thank you, John Lewis.
hey, amen, man. That's a shining example of what you can accomplish if you believe in these things and just go
Yes.
out and do. A lot of people, I can't do this, I can't do that, but there's
John
so much.
Walsh.
Yeah, a lot of Johns there, but there's the registering people to vote, and you can get those voter registrations out, and share the website voteamerica.org, which is helps you register to vote online and redirects you to state sites with voter registration. You also want to get voter registrations, and where's the best places to get them? I think post office is
And at the DMV, when
DMV.
you register to
ones that are
driver's
open these days.
Yeah.
Cannabis is good medicine.
Right.
And
But to
you
make
don't
sure-
have to smoke it.
But to make sure that's recognized, and so everybody, here in Oregon, you got to pay this $500 charge fee just to get your patient card, you know, and then before that's involving the doctor visit, and then you got to go to the
we need to do some talking.
the store, and you pay the exorbitant price, and then these people need to medicate, and they're not able to get it in ways best suited for them.
We need to talk to our senators and our congressmen.
Right.
These are the people we need to talk with, and there's so many people we need to talk with. I know
have these conversations, right?
We have a pandemic, but we can do this.
We
Right,
can
in many
still
ways.
write down our testimony and send it to these individuals.
Right. So, and that's part of the process now. You're registering, you're making sure everybody is registered. As you say, you talk about the importance of registering to vote. You talk about these issues, and educate folks. You have that conversation, and
The medicine works.
it's good medicine. It's safe medicine.
And it works. I
Yeah.
can rub it on, I can eat it, I can drink it.
It has many different uses.
Oh, and I can smoke it, and it works right now. And I don't have to eat all of those pills. Wow. Or I can eat a few of them. Or, these are the things that we do. And I'm still good. You guys, these
Yep.
are the things that people, and look, Mercy has been teaching this. People need to learn.
Teaching all those things. So, you're registering, you're voting, you're making sure that you're voting. You're checking your voter registration. Make sure it stays valid, because there's going to be a lot of effort by certain parties to kick people off the rolls. It's a numbers game, more so than ever before. And so the more people we get to the polls, the worse it is for special interests and the people that they control. So making sure that we get out the vote,
And is it October 2nd this
Right.
year?
Well, so know the registration rules.
No. You gotta be registered and vote before
Right.
October.
In Oregon, it's the month before the vote. So the second Tuesday in October is your voter registration deadline. Make sure you're registered before that.
So you need to take responsibility.
Well, check now. See, that's
Yeah.
why folks need to go to our website, like voteamerica.org. There's also, mercycenters.org, which will have all the links on there for them. And it's get your friends to make sure they're registered and get those voter registrations out and distributed and everybody in there. But then support the vote. It's going to be a lot of voter suppression. There's going to be a lot of ways to kind of discourage people from actually voting. They're talking about, mail-in voting and how it's got a lot of fraud there. And
But we know the truth because many years we've been a mail-in state.
so, they might do some stunt like taking a whole zip code and all their mail just happens to get lost, because that zip code votes traditionally Democratic, which they can tell. There's ways to know that kind of information. So we got to counter that by making sure everybody freaking votes. So, to that end, there's a number of websites that talk about making sure all your friends and neighbors, become part of a support group that will drive people to the polls, or go pick up their ballot and take it to a ballot box, kind of things. So you want to support those, and you want to support a thing like powertothepolls.org, which is an organization to help make sure there's plenty of poll workers, and so there's plenty of polls open for people, So all these things we as citizens, individuals, can do to help make this vote happen, man, to get out the vote, to do it for cannabis law reform, to do it for John Lewis, to do it for America, to do it for yourselves and everybody you care about. Because more than ever, we really need it.
These are the things that we can do, you know, and Mercy has been doing it. We're trying to do it for patients, medicine, and, you know, cannabis, you know. We're trying to do it for patients,
Yeah.
you know.
Just one truth and a number of untruths that have been fed the American people in an effort to control, manipulate, and maneuver. And grift, you know, that's one scam after another involved with it. And unfortunately, now we've seen a lot of snake oil salesmen pop up with their cannabis oils, done totally wrong, and now more toxic and fatal to our patient community than
Right.
beneficial, you know.
Thank you, CCTV, for helping us, because we know that Mercy would not be able to do this and get out to show that Mercy is able to show that, you know, cannabis is good medicine.
Right.
Yes.
And, you know, we're able to show that, you know what, cannabis is good medicine. And there are so many people that are helping us.
Yep.
You know?
CCTV.
Right? So check them out at cctvsalem.org, or again, visit our website, mercycenters.org, with all the links to them and the other efforts. We want to throw out there about Eugene Cannabis TV, Eugene Cannabis .tv, I think, is their site.
Well, and right now we're not able to get to the TV show because, you know, it's all closed up. But pretty soon you'll be able to call in and talk to us on the TV show.
Right.
Yeah. But get in touch with us at this time on our website. We'll try to get back to you. But we need your help in the office as well.
Well, yeah, sure do. So, you know, drop us a line if you want to communicate with us on anything. You want to share testimony, a word of encouragement. You want to see out ways of helping out. You want to be on the show. You have a message, but you can't afford to be on the show. We have ways and means, because it's all about getting the word out, you know.
Well, and we was talking about earlier some questions about, do you have some different kinds of cannabis that have helped you and your condition? You know, earlier we had a call about some CBD that was helping, you know, that worked, you know, and it was helping their anxiety. You know, the anxiety seemed to help with the CBD, you know, and that's what the call was mainly. The CBD was helping with the anxiety.
Okay. Well, CBDs help with a lot of things, you know, and I hope that the information, the news gets out more about the benefit
The
of
difference
CBD.
was, though, they were smoking it, and so it was kind of hurting their lungs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and that was...
It was pure CBD? Or
Yeah, and that was the thing. It was pure.
It
was pure CBD.
It was extracted?
Yes,
So it wasn't
pure.
like CBD-rich cannabis that...
No, it was pure CBD.
Interesting.
And
Was it...
because they were smoking it...
And what form was it? Like
He said it was just a chunk of CBD. And he was just...
kind of like shatter? Or
Yeah, it was just a pure chunk of shatter, like CBD.
Okay, but
And they were smoking
he was told it was CBD, not
Yeah.
just CBD-rich oil or
And
something
they
like
were
that.
smoking it. And he said, man, but it made him really good on his, you know, his...
Anxieties and all,
Yeah.
but it was a harsh smoke.
No, and he said it wasn't too bad that way. And I was asking about that, and he said it wasn't too bad. So we're able, you know, the anxieties, you know.
I think the important thing about everybody's experience with cannabis is that you don't overdose.
And
You know,
the
it's not
anxiety-
fatal.
The anxiety, the pills, so you can get away from the pills, which, you know, your liver and your kidneys are really good, because most people's liver and kidneys are so drenched with so many pills, and people's liver and kidneys are so heavy with so many pills that they always end up having by the time they get later on in life, their kidneys have so many problems.
Yeah.
So if you can get away from that and get no problems with your liver and kidneys, you can live a little bit better of a life with no problems.
Well, with the pharmaceutical drugs, they do have side effects. And cannabis doesn't have no side effects as deadly as the pharmaceutical drugs.
Yeah, nothing
But-
along those lines, but including death, especially.
That is
Yeah.
what is so much
That's
better
one side effect you really want to avoid of your medications.
when
I
you
believe.
get away from it.
That's
When you
me.
can have a little bit of no anxiety and get away from your liver and kidneys being a lot better, then you'll feel no anxiety,
Along with other organs,
and your organs being better, you'll feel a lot better.
your joints. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
Your
and your joints and all those different kinds of
And your-
arthritis.
your skin. You know.
Oh yeah, if you have different kinds of psoriasis,
Right.
you'll notice that you'll notice your psoriasis is better.
And the brain even. So migraine headaches, which I guess would be a blood pressure situation more than anything there. But also those folks that suffer from brain trauma, post-traumatic stress syndrome. So even
A lot of
Parkinson's.
people,
psychosomatic
a
conditions.
lot of
and
people
stuff. So-
notice that their neurology problems
Mm-hmm.
are gone. Well, then I explained to them that cannabis is a neurology kind of a
Well, it's a neuropathic
medicine,
medicine. It's
and the medicine goes to wherever it's needed.
right.
Because,
So, right. Go ahead. Man.
well, that's where it works. It goes to where it's needed.
So that's why folks with things like myasthenia gravis or gosh, what are the other ones? The multiple sclerosis, the MS. You know, these whole body neuropathic pain conditions. You know, that cannabis is effective for.
We want people to understand that if you have really bad problems, we want you to work with your medicines. It's not like we're saying, oh, don't take your MS.
Yeah, in some cases you can't give it up. And while we're on that subject, a message to seizure patients about taking your medication. So sometimes they'll consume some cannabis, they'll feel better, they'll not have seizures, and they'll think that they can forego their seizure medication, which turns out to be a mistake because
I have
cannabis
seizures.
can help pre and post seizures, but it doesn't prevent them. So.
I still take my seizure medicine.
Yeah. So, be advised. You know, yeah.
Well, I mean,
So work with your doctor though, and get a balance of your cannabis and your other medications. You know.
and I talk to my seizure doctor, and that's what people should understand. Always talk to your doctors. You know, it's very important to talk to
Right.
your doctors.
Well, and in some cases you're going to have to. You're going to have to get your doctor involved. Like in where you're utilizing opioids as part of your medication. Far too many times, and it's funny that we
you
can,
need to get your doctor to sign your patient
right,
card,
you know,
so you don't have to go to a specialist and pay.
right on the first place. But then, say you go to a specialist to get it, and then your regular doctor says, "Oh, I have to put you on a pain management contract or some nonsense to say I can't have you mixing opioids and cannabis," which is nonsense. You know, in the midst of an opioid crisis, in addition to all the other crises we're facing, you know, we're still refusing to admit cannabis's place in relieving people of their opioid addiction, as well as helping them to manage it because it reduces the pain and need for opioids.
There is so much of that going on because, you know, I've been on a morphine before. Well, and it took me 5 years to get off of morphine. I got off of it, and I don't want it no more. But I have taken it. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I took it once at some point. They gave it to me for something,
Right.
and I don't remember what it was for. And they said, "Oh, but it says you're allergic to morphine." And I said, "No, I'm not allergic to it. I
Have adverse reactions.
just don't want it. You know,
Uh-huh.
I don't want it. You know, I don't want it. But all right,
Well,
you give it to me. It's all right."
from what I hear, the main thing is that the opioids makes you feel like a wet blanket over you, almost. You know, you just don't function as well for the pain management gain as you do with cannabis. The cannabis is as effective, if not more, in relieving pain, but not as intoxicating as the opioids.
Well, they have new drugs on the market. See, they have new drugs on the market.
Well, there you go then. So we can
But-
still keep cannabis down. Oh,
But
okay.
prohibition started back in before 1937. Before that, you could go to your local store and get a lot of products that had cannabis in it. Cannabis was a good medicine, and the pharmaceutical and the oil company, the paper company, they all, oh God, this is going to ruin us.
Mhm.
But our forefathers grew hemp and sweet hemp, and it was the best. And what happened? Industry.
Well, what happened was multifold. There was a number of industries involved. There was the medical side. Unfortunately, there was an immigration issue that they somehow managed to wrap that into it also. And yeah, basically decided to do a little bit of social engineering or what have you. So we end up with this deliberately bad law that is so selectively enforced as to be common knowledge that a certain class of people don't have to worry about marijuana possession or growing or anything else. Just certain
Ain't
people,
that funny?
certain people like below the rank of police officer do have to worry about cannabis. And sadly, even whether or not you use it, because they raid the wrong house frequently down in this area, and people who have nothing to do with it end up getting killed and having their lives ruined and shit because of this war, because of this cannabis prohibition. So that, to me, is the number one reason for ending it, you know. The cost, the waste, the abuse that goes on, you know. And all the benefit we could receive, not just in saving human lives, our most important resource to somebody, some folks who feel that way, but industry, environment, on, you know, and on.
Pardon me.
Oh, well, about 5 more minutes.
Okay. So, folks, wear your mask correctly over your nose, your mouth, cough in your elbow, be polite to other people, stay away.
Give some distance. Let's have some, you know, respect everybody's space, you know.
Be safe.
Be commonsensical about it, I
Yes.
guess, instead of nonsensical. Where and when
Right.
possible. Register, vote, get everybody you know to do so also, and get out the vote. Power the polls, go work the polls, go help your friends and neighbors and people you haven't met yet, your friends you haven't met yet, to get to the polls. Visit mercycenters.org, and there's a number of websites to support that and more.
Thank you, CCTV.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Lebec. Thank you, Mike, Grandma Janice,
And all the folks
and
that are,
Shauna,
Uh-huh.
and the other members of the Mercy Center, and We all need you. And
Many
we
blessings.
need you.
Yeah.
Many blessings.
Thank you.
Blessings on these folks that have helped us, that send us communiques, to friends and family who have to suffer through us with our conditions and doing this cause all these decades.
Every day.
And thank you folks for tuning in. I hope you'll spread the word, words that we have spoken here far and wide.
Please.
And
Use your own advice. If you can't, flame will sterilize it, buddy.
get your sprays, get your wipes, all those things, and more. But by all means, do not inject yourself with disinfectant or shine ultraviolet light up your ass or do any of those silly things that some irresponsible people have been promoting for God knows what reasons why. So, good luck to you all. Thanks for coming, and hopefully we'll see you again next time here on Mercy TV.
Bye.
Love you all. Hey, have
Everybody
fun.
be safe.
Have fun. Go fly a kite on a windy day. And have a smile. You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.